understand.
Next question, Andrew Tillett.
Andrew Tillett, the West Australian. A question for both of you, just about the tone of the debate about climate change, not the one here, but in the wider community, where it seems to degenerate into a lot of name-calling and mudslinging on both sides. And, I mean, we had, like Lord Monckton's beginning of the trip, you were sort of overshadowed with the comments about Professor Garneau, which you subsequently apologised for, but that prompted someone like Malcolm Turnbull to call you a rather sick vaudeville character. We have...
That's better than he manages.
Are we getting? Is there going to be any hope of getting a more civilised tone to this debate, or has it become too polarised?
First of all, ladies and gentlemen of the press, I hope that you would regard us as conducting a civilised debate here, and I should certainly like at this point to pay tribute to my opponent in this debate, who has conducted himself in an entirely civilised fashion, and I am going to try to do the same. So can we give him a round of applause? Now, I am concerned that 3 weeks before I arrived in Australia, one of your journalists said that climate sceptics should be branded with tattoos. I am concerned that 2 weeks before I came to Australia, one of your journalists on a leading national newspaper, in that national newspaper, said that climate sceptics should be gassed. Now, I wonder what kind of a regime it was that used to do that to its opponents. And what I'm particularly concerned about, ladies and gentlemen of the press, is that you have quite rightly called me out for a single inadvertent, crass remark for which I have completely and abjectly and humbly and unreservedly apologised, and I renew that apology now, and yet you have not asked your own number who have done similar things, in fact worse things, to apologise. And Andrew, you say you work for the West Australian. Was this the paper whose headline a couple of weeks ago was "Ban the Lord," with a large picture of me? Was that a civilised tone? I'm not sure that it was. So let us all agree that in future this debate should be conducted at a more scientific level. It is not enough to wave our arms and say the science is clear when the climate is a chaotic object and therefore the science can never be clear. It's not good enough to say the science is clear because there's a consensus, because consensus is not the way science is done. Science is done by hard work, hard research, checking, checking and checking again. Back to those equations again.
For those who aren't aware of what Monckton said that sparked the controversy, here's the relevant clip.
Professor Ross Garneau, that again is a fascist point of view, that you merely accept authority without question. Heil Hitler, on we go.
He was way out of line with his remark, and it was the right choice of him to apologize for it. However, this is far from atypical behavior from Monckton. Another video of him making an offensive statement has also garnered some attention.
As far as I'm concerned, first of all, my name's Ben.
No, I'm not going to shake the hand of the Hitler Youth, I'm sorry.
Wow. Sir, as a Jew, I'm not really sure how I should take that.
I'll tell you how you should take it.
How should I take that? My grandparents who escaped the Nazis growing up in Germany.
Because of the biofuel scam, world food prices have doubled.
Sir,
that is because of the global warming scare, which you won't look at the science of. And as a result of that, millions are dying in third world countries because food prices have doubled because of the biofuel scam, because of the global warming scare.
Sir,
not because there's been any global warming.
And I don't think biofuels are the right solution.
And until you start caring, I will call you Hitler Youth if you ever again interrupt any meeting at which I am present where we are trying to have a private conversation.
Hey, it's fine.
You should know right now.
So tough luck.
Sir.
Now you know what it looks like when you do robotic chants of the sort which the Hitler Youth used to do in Copenhagen when they occupied this city.
talk about it, in all honesty, because I think it's good, you know, not to try and drown out other people's opinions, and I do agree with that.
That's what you did. That's what you did. That's what the Hitler Youth did.
What I'd like to say
That is what the Hitler Youth did, and if you behave like the Hitler Youth, I'll call you what you are, Hitler Youth.
Okay, well, having not been there last night, regardless.
Or you lump it.
Okay, well, I'll let you know how I feel about that personally in a second. I'd like to tell you, though, that for as long as I've been alive, you know, the past 20 years, the science has been settled. And it's unfortunate that you haven't gotten on board the science of anthropogenic climate change.
All right,
I really,
now, can you tell me what has been settled then?
Sir, I believe that the global climate trend is that temperatures are rising. And if we look...
And so, have they been rising for the last 15 years?
Sir,
have they been rising for the last 15 years?
The greater trend is that they have been rising, and that is the truth. That is the truth. So I'd like to give you my card. So if you'd like to discuss this at some point.
The cards of Hitler Youth. No.
Sir, as a Jew, again, I think you can... It's absurd, and I'm just getting a little frustrated.
As far as I'm aware, he never apologized for this behavior. These aren't isolated incidents. There are mild examples of this behavior already present in the sections of the debate that I've talked about. Outside of these particular incidents, he has made some very severe accusations. For example, of fraud towards scientists and opponents. Remember the court cases I talked about in the IPCC graph? He has repeatedly threatened critics with lawsuits for simply doing what I've been doing here, following opponent sources and claims. In my opinion, it's because of this Monckton isn't the person that should lecture anyone on civility in public discourse. But despite all of that, he does have a point. We should try to be as civil as possible when engaging with opponents. You don't have to sugarcoat everything you do and say, but language like this should not be used. It just distracts from the arguments being made.